All right, here we go. Big Daddy Shin hanging out, right? Just checking it out. And right here, let me put my name up here. So yeah, another live stream just for all you guys and everything. Now, what happens is today, it's a very special day. It's my 1000th day completion of the Big Daddy Shin lifestyle reset. Okay. So I wanted to do a little reflection on this and just talk about what I learned, good things, bad things, all the things that happen. And I wanted to thank all the people along the way. So I'm doing this one live stream. So when people could just talk to me, they go, "Oh yeah, I remember this," and we're gonna go from there. Okay. So, anyways, let me refresh your memory. So what happened is 1,000 days ago, right? Actually, today was day 1,001, but 1,000 days ago, I'm thinking like, gosh, I'm hitting 310 pounds, and I'm like, oh man, I got to do something because my life was just you know hanging out, watching Netflix, just being really lazy, right? I'd go to dance class and stuff, but I ate horrible and all that things, and then I go, you know what? I got to do something different. Okay. So what I did was I go, you know what? I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm spending $40 a month on the thing. Why don't I just go? Right? Madison, I know, right? 1,000 days. It's pretty nuts. I figure a perfect live stream. So Madison's one of my buddies over here too, right? So, anyways, I go to the gym. I figure, okay, I'm spending $40. And then so if I go one time, that's a $40 workout, right? And then if I go twice, it's a $20 workout, whatever. But I figure it wasn't on New Year's, nothing. It was on a January 9th, right? And I went and I realized I didn't go to lose weight. I just wanted to go and just do what I can do and move around. Because in my mind, I'm thinking my college football days or whatever, and wrestling or track, right? But no, I'm older. I can't move like that. It's like I'm thinking I'm still like 220 pounds or something, right? But no, it was 310. So I went to the gym one day, and then I went to the gym a second day. And I'm thinking, like, I'm doing those videos. Here you go, Big Daddy Shin, this day number 3. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't do this whole day stuff because I'm gonna you know what, on day 40, here I go, Big Daddy Shin, day 40. And then I'm like, I can't. And so they go, wait a minute, that'd actually be pretty cool. And then I'm just thinking back then, it's like, oh man, day 100, right? And I had people that just gave me a bunch of mess. They go, you know what? Why don't you just quit now? Because you're not going to go more than a week. I'm like, first of all, ex friend, right? I don't talk to the people like that anymore because it's like you're just starting and they don't even have faith in you to be able to do the stuff. Okay. And then so, when it came like a month, it's like, hey, yeah, when are you gonna break your streak? When are you gonna break your streak? And so stuff like that, I'm like, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Okay. Now on these things, I had a lot of ups and downs, right? It's like sometimes it was like okay, as soon as I'm going on the bike and I'm getting the sweat on, I go, oh, I'm gonna try swimming, right? And next thing you know, I'm going like, multiple days and like weeks. And I'm like, wow. And then so some days I look over there and go, wow, maybe that bench press. Maybe I'll do one of them. Right. And then yes, congratulations to Kayla. I'm glad that she's better, Madison. Wish her well for me. Thank you very much. So what happened is yeah, I looked and I started seeing the weights. I'm like, wow, this might be pretty cool. And I did it. Like I'm like, wow, it feels good. And then you feel like that burn, right? And then it started motivating me. So some of them I was doing a little bit better than other times, right? So so yeah, I would do it, and I'm like motivated at times and stuff. But what happened is I kept going, and then some days you just don't feel like going to the gym. It's like just get your clothes up and you have to drive, find a parking spot, and like you see all the crowded and stuff, right? And especially days when it's raining. Oh, that was horrible. I mean, you just go in the gym. Some days you just don't feel like going. Some days you just have like so many things to do, and then you can't go until like midnight, 2 in the morning, right? I remember those days. And then when you're on vacation, so as a streak got on, right? And then I started going to Mexico. I'm going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So, I do like maybe push-ups or, like squats or whatever, but it felt weird because I was so addicted going to the gym. I'm like, you know what? I gym, 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 right? But as time went on, I did like the whole. I think I got down as low as like maybe two. I don't know if I touched the 250s, like 259. I think I was the lowest in the 260s, right? And then so sometimes I ate really well. I tried the different diets and the stuff, and you see what works and what doesn't work. Okay, but in this case, it was it felt really amazing to be able to to just continue the streak. And all of a sudden, when it gets day like 300 or something, I'm like, oh my gosh, 300. That's pretty crazy. Now, thing is, around that time, Kayla, what's going on? Get well soon, girl. So, what happens is it got to a point where you go after a certain amount, okay? And then I'm going on like, day 300 or something like that. And then the people would start to question me, dude, you look exactly the same. Why are you doing it so wrong? Whatever. It's like, I don't know. I had to work out these things. But thing is, they go, yeah, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time. It's like, all right, I get it. It might be a waste of time. But what happens is it kept me on this streak that was insane. Okay. So some people even could question me this day. Okay. Yeah, I'll come clean. I'm back to 300 pounds, you know? So in 1,000 days, I only lose 10 pounds. That's horrible. But I think during this whole, pandemic and everything, I probably gained like, I don't know, 15, something like that. Right. Because, okay, what I learned from the pandemic is I would go outside for walks for like an hour, right? I go to the different parks, I find out which ones I enjoy more. I'm enjoying watching people play sports and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, but it's just a fact of getting sunshine. And then there's times where it's like I went to the car dealership to like get a rental car or whatever. I dropped it off and then I'd walk back. I remember the time that like, I tried to walk back from Harold, the handyman's house. That was 10 miles. Thank God somebody found me after 4. I thought I was gonna die. But thing is, at least I had the nerve to actually try and do it. So I'm like, okay, whenever I need exercise, I'll just go out and do something, right? Now, even when I didn't have the gym, I just go outside my door and I just walk down the street, right? I mean, like, one of those busy highways or whatever. And then, yeah, you need to go out there, hang out with the people that walk on the streets and stuff, right? And so that's what it was. So I realized that like paying $40 a month to just go to the gym, yeah, okay. I had a crutch because I felt like, oh, what am I gonna do? But I think probably at least 700 of these days that I did the 1,000. I went there and I just rode the bike for 50 minutes. 50 minutes is 10 miles. Okay. And thank God I met Jack along the way. Right. So if you guys remember Jack, he's the one that I met 24 Fitness. And he goes, Shan, what's up? What's up, Shin Guard? So if you know him, he talks kind of like that. But he's my buddy. And then so we'd go there, and basically I'm paying $40 to ride the bike every day. So during this last week, somebody asked me, "Hey, what are you going to do for your 1,000th day?" You know what? I don't know. Got to find something special, right? Now, thing is, I knew that I needed to go exercise and run and stuff, but thing is, just with my weight level and like try my knees and stuff, I got the nice shoes, but it's like my back hurts. I'll use excuse after excuse after excuse, even though I don't want to give excuses, right? I thought about it. It's like, you know what? We go to the gym, we spend $40 a month. So 1 year is $480, right? It's like, shoot, let me see how much these bikes cost. So I found out though these like exercise bikes are only like, I mean, well, you could get as cheap as like $200 or whatever. But the one that I saw was, the ones that, me and Jack used to ride. It's going for around 7 to 9, right? And then so I was trying to get one. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I can get it for $500, right? No, didn't budge. So I ended up going through a couple of different places. I found out that they're selling those Pre-Core machines for like, I mean, normally it's like about $900, whatever, but I know brand new, these are like 3,000. Yeah, everything. My car that I drive, 2015 Toyota Avalon Sport Edition, right? Limited. Yeah, when that was brand new, it's like $40,000. Now it's like, I don't know, 9. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so I got it, but the seat rattled a little, so I returned it. And then I'm looking at other different places. So there's another one that, they're gonna sell me the same bike for like 500. But it wasn't who knows if it's maintenance or not, but you have to actually go and ride these things to be able to do it. Which brings me to today. Because what happened is this weekend, I had a bike. And then since I had a bike, I was so excited. I saw another one. And then I'm like, you know what? I already have a bike. So it's such a great deal. That one that I was going to buy for 700, someone's selling for 250. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get one for Stuart. So I got for Stuart. And yeah, so he's biking already. And then so as soon as that happened, I found out my seat was broken. They had to fix it. And then, I just told them, you just take it back. Right. So now I'm bikeless. And then day 1001's coming up. And I'm like, oh man, I totally wanted to hook myself up with something. But so I scoured hard this weekend. And I'm thinking, okay, do I get a recumbent bike? The recumbent bike, they look like an office chair and you just feel like this. And however impact that goes. After you do it for like maybe 15 minutes and you'll start to sweat a little bit, whatever. And there's an upright bike where you're actually just on a bike and then you just roll. And then there's one is super comfortable. It's called a life fitness integrity, right? Upright bike. But thing is, people are selling for like $1,200. I'm like, oh my gosh. And some people $1,600. I'm like, that's a little bit too much. I didn't want to do that. Right. And then I'm telling Harold the handyman, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna buy a bike. Can you help me out? Like get me like with a truck, He's like, don't waste your money on a bike. You gotta get an elliptical machine. I'm like, oh. And then like, dude, I never did that at the gym. He's like, yeah, if you do it, then you're gonna work out your arms, your legs, everything, and you're gonna lose a lot more weight. I'm thinking, oh man. So I'm thinking about the whole thing, the bike. I just want to just chill, watch TV. I'm thinking about live streaming my workout. So you see like this timer here. I'll show you right here. So, oh, it's not on here. Okay. Anyways, there'd be a timer, and then so I'm riding the bike and I'm talking, and then so people could actually ride their bike and talk with me. It was a pretty good idea. I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to do this and stuff, whatever. But no, I was having a hard time finding the bike. And then also I had that doubt. It's like, I'm thinking, okay, I got to graduate to that pre-core thing. Day 1000, I need to up my game for the next level. So what happens? I go to this place in a place called Aguana, California. Look it up. I never heard of this place until today, right? Today. And then I got back like, I don't know, 30 minutes ago. And if you look over this right here, yes, that is my machine. It's a Precore 100i AMT. I don't know what the AMT stands for, but what happened is it's a combination of elliptical and a step machine. And when I wrote it, I go, oh my God. It's not a thing of the whole I want it or I need it. Yes, it was more of a, I want it. I'm like, okay, something when it just calls out your name. And then I'm like, okay, I need this thing. Thank God my buddy Gus, his Silverado has a backing on it, and we're able to get this thing in there. Because, okay, when I talk with Harold about the other Precore machine, most of the Precore elliptical machines, okay, they have a big like snail rear, okay? So you have your front of the bike, and then it goes all the way like this. It's like 7 feet long, okay? So these trucks don't have 7 feet long. You have to get a bigger truck to actually take these things, and 5 feet tall. I'm like, oh, and then those things are like $2,400 used. You're like, oh, wow, that's a lot of tacos, right? But this one, I saw it. It's more compact. I went in there. This was like, it used to be like in a fitness center, like at a hotel. So I don't know. The model's like, I don't know, 6 years old. There's only 2,200 hours on it. So I did the math. I'm like, wait a minute. That's like hour a day. That's not bad at all. Not too many people were using it, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm going to use it. So now every morning after I wake up, I'm going to go straight on this machine, and I'm going to do it for 30 minutes because there's no way I could do an hour on this thing because you're just doing working thing. Then I'm going to take a shower, and I'm going to start teaching. It's going to be amazing. And then later on at the day, if I'm not doing anything, right? Like, I don't know, it could have been like right now, I get back on that thing and take a shower and go to sleep. So, it's amazing when you actually have it in the privacy of your own home, right? I mean, yeah, granted, for the last 1,000 days, I've been videoing myself every day. Will I continue to do that? Yeah, I totally am. Because thing is, now I have kind of a vision on what this whole lifestyle reset is. Okay. The first 1,000 days, okay, it was about accomplishing something and doing something what you can. Change one lifestyle reset and habit. My thing, I'm going to go exercise for at least an hour a day. Okay. Now, the thing is, I didn't say I'm going to lose weight. I didn't say I'm going to like stop eating candy. I just said I'm going to try and exercise for 1 hour a day. And then so I did it and I did not quit. No matter what, I still did it. Right. And then so thing is, some people they do 30-day challenge, 3-month challenge, whatever, right? This one's 1,000. So I'm thinking like, okay, if I stop right now, that's kind of horrible because I can't just pick up and do another, keep on going and matches to get. I mean, I guess I could, right? But yes, I was gonna ask that, Kayla. I hope that you're better. So so what happens is for this next 1,000, okay, I figure, okay, what am I going to do? I'm just going to keep going. It's like, wow, be crazy. What if? So I was talking to my buddy, and he said, like, just the number itself is so sick, 1,000, right? So and then we're talking about, can you imagine in 10 years? He told me like, oh, you know what? You should just rebrand it and start from day one again. I'm like, no, 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 that's whatever. I want to be like so in like 10 years, right? Hey, Big Daddy Shin hanging out. Day 3,650. That'd be crazy. A monumental thing and stuff. And it's not like I'm going to stop exercising every day. Okay. Now, thing is, this next 1,000 goal, okay, is I want to improve the rigor of this exercise. And that this time I do want to lose weight. I want to sweat more every day and see some of the stuff that I learned in the first 1,000 days. Not think about buffet all the time. Just live to eat. No, eat to live, right? And just enjoy food. So yeah, you could still enjoy regular foods, but just don't eat a lot of it, right? And then drinking more water and not, try not to eat past a certain hour and just watch the salt intake, all those different things. But now, instead of just walking around and stroll in the park, I'm gonna burn some legit calories on this machine right here, and I'm gonna be super excited. Yeah. So yeah, I'm on these next starting from well today. I'll right after this video, I'll show you the video that I did earlier today when before I took that 2-hour trip over to buy this bike right here, with my buddy Gus, and it was a lot of adventure. I should have taken video. It's like things didn't go right, but then we made it there, we made it back, but it was pretty fun. I should have videoed, but I didn't. The days I don't take videos, the days I should. So what is it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then so, during hold on. Yes, I'm almost to yeah, I'm almost at 7,000 subscribers. Can you believe that? Because I think Madison was watching me ever since I had 300, I think. It was something like that. I don't even know how. So if you guys are wondering, right now on this, so I decided to go live stream. So if people wanted to talk as well, they could ask me these questions, right? And then Madison was one of my first loyal fans from when I had only like, maybe 300 people watching me, right? And then so, gosh, that must have been 2 years ago. I don't know, 3 years ago, whatever years ago, And then so her and her New Jersey friends out there, yeah, what's up? Oh gosh, it's like super late over there. Okay. But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna lose the weight. And this one, there are people that say I'm gonna lose weight, and there's people that say that I'm gonna lose weight, right? And then so mine is I'm gonna lose weight. Now, the way that I say it is yes, I'm tired of like, disappointing people where they're saying, like, oh, you know what, you need to mix it up, whatever. Okay. Now, I get it. Doing the bike every day wasn't doing much for the actual weight loss thing. It's just to maintain it. I figure, oh, you do it, you burn so many calories. But, in reality, I mean, you get some of the leg workout and then, I mean, if when I was doing it like 2, 3 sessions a day, oh, yeah, that was pretty amazing. Yeah. But this one, it's going to be full on movement. So then, my more of my gut, my midsection. So I'm not going to look more like Charlie Brown, right? I have a Charlie Brown shirt. So when I wear the Charlie Brown shirt, I look like Charlie Brown. So, and then when I wear my mask, right? I have that, the white face, whatever. But then the black part, my chin is just like totally pouring out of it. It's like, no, this sucks. It's horrible. So I'm gonna try and do it where I get back to what I should possibly be, you know? And with this whole quarantine thing, it's like, yeah, a lot of people gain weight and stuff. Gyms are closing everywhere, gyms are selling their equipment everywhere. I just found a place that actually sells the equipment that was in the gym. So yeah. So I'll probably clean this thing up, do a little bit tonight, and then tomorrow will probably be my first video on this thing on day 1002. So today officially is day 1001. And yes, I did go out to the park. I did walk for an hour. And that video is going to come up probably right after this one. Right. So that's pretty much it. I think that's about it. Unless somebody reminds me of something. Right. Okay. So I'm going to start eating less carbs. Try not to eat any sweets. And you know what's crazy? I'm not even addicted to sweets anymore, you know? And then so that's what's shocking. I have to talk to a nutritionist. So I need that type of interview. And hey, what's going on? Yes, Andrew. So I'm talking about, just recapping my first 1,000 days on doing the lifestyle reset. And then so anyways, let me recap right now because some people come in later in the thing and they, you know. So yesterday was day 1,000. Today's day 1,001. So what happens is I was telling people, some people wonder if it's a failure because okay, I started at 310 pounds, now I'm at 300 pounds. So thing is, after 1,000 days, I only lost 10 pounds. So what? After another 1,000 days, I'm only going to go down to 290. No, it doesn't work like that. It's just you have your ups and downs, but the whole purpose of my lifestyle reset was just to do something that I normally didn't do, change a habit. And that habit on day one, go exercise for an hour. Just move, move. It doesn't have to be like, a bunch of suicides or a bunch of like, push-ups and go to the gym, swimming. It's just what I could do. I did that for 1,000 days. So Jeff Giordano, oh my God, what's going on? Yay. So I have no idea when the next time I'm going to Mexico. I'm lucky if I could even make it to Disneyland. But in the meantime, celebrate day 1,001. I bought this elliptical machine. It's a Precor 100i AMT. I don't know what the I AMT means, but it adjusts your stride. So it feels like steps and it feels like elliptical. So when I do that, I am going to burn off tons of calorie. Just like when Super Mario says, like, when's Disneyland reopen? You know what? I really don't know. They may never reopen. Who knows? But they said that they're supposed to, but then they just laid off a bunch of workers and stuff. So it's getting pretty nervous over there, right? But I remember on those days where I would go to Disneyland for my walking days. And you know what's crazy? I remember those days I would go to Disneyland, walk around, but I didn't count those days. I'm thinking, oh no, I got to get to the gym. I got to get to the gym. But now that I think about how crazy that is, like I'd go to Disneyland like at 8 in the morning and I get back at like 12 midnight, right? Then I go straight to the gym and I go on the bike for an hour. I'm like, oh my gosh. See, that's the difference of when I was just walking around during pandemic and when I'm actually going to the gym all the time. That's another reason why I got this machine. right? So, anyways, when I can, I totally want to go to Disneyland. I totally want to go to Mexico. Necesito practicar mi español, ¿sí? Pero mi trabajo, yo necesito trabajar mucho por mi posición nuevo. So yeah, a lot of transition this week. Okay, a lot of new things. I'm switching schools again, and I'm switching exercise habits. I'm switching. Yeah, I'm changing all my habits. I'm saving a lot of money. I'm not free spending a lot. I'm not eating buffets. I'm not eating. I'm not eating a lot of candy and stuff. Okay, now you know what? This is a recap on the 1,000 day stuff. Okay, let me do it because once I post this, then people are gonna look. Wait, I thought this was this 1,000 day reset thing. Okay, in my 1,000 days, I learned a lot of things. Right, I learned different dieting things. I learned different relationships. I learned save money. I learned all this stuff. But during these 1,000 days, I also learned different schools. So I started in East LA, then went to Orange County, and then you guys see me go to Victorville. Yes. So what happened is, during this 1,000 day two, you see me go from living in this place to still living in this place, but actually I was in the process of buying a house. So I almost went from this house to, this 3,800 square foot like mini mansion in Victorville, with like it lived on the dock. I would have got a boat and I mean, it'd been total rock star, right? But then when the pandemic happened, it's like, no, I canceled the escrow because I don't have any friends over there. I'm not teaching up there because there's going to be distance learning. So it's like, okay, so I saved money there. Now that I'm at home, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm saving all that money. I'm closer to my friends in that thing, right? Hold on. Yeah. So now it's like I'm paying all my bills. Oh, that down payment money. Yeah. This happened during the 1,000 days too. I paid off my two credit cards and I paid off my car. So all of a sudden I went from that to zero. I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I can't believe how much I was a slave to the whole credit owed debt thing. And I'm like, wow. So those things happen, right? And then also another thing was what put me in perspective on things, right? So when I worked in East LA, I love that job. Oh my gosh, that school's amazing. My bosses amazing, everything amazing, right? But what happened is when I left, my principal got a job at another school, and we're supposed to get another principal, and things were going really bad. But somebody, one of my old buddies, I found out that he had an opening in his district. I'm like, okay. So I bounced. I went there. I started teaching Korean kids. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is amazing. You know, I mean, I'm so used to teaching, people like the blacks and Latinos in LA, right? But then finally, I was teaching all these Koreans. I'm like, wow, this is amazing, right? But the problem is that area, it didn't have enough young people that had kids to go to those schools. So I'm like, oh, so they're probably gonna have budget cuts or whatever, right? So I'm like thinking like, oh man, when I was jobless for like 2 months, no, 3 months, I was like, oh my gosh. I basically got paid in May and I had to hold off as long. And I didn't even have a job until July 31st or whatever it was. When I drove up to Victorville and all of a sudden I got hired over there. And then when do I start? Monday. I'm like, oh my gosh. Right. They pay a little bit better over there. But the thing is, I learned discipline. If I could do this whole 1,000 day thing, I mean, whatever it was at the time, I figured, you know what? I could drive an hour and a half each way every day. So this whole last school year, I drove an hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half at night. And so I realized I got the whole discipline thing. This is what I needed in my life, discipline. So I'd wake up at 4:30. I got on the road by 5:30. I got to the gym at 7 and I see Reggie King. If you see him in my video comments, he's my buddy from 24 Hour Fitness over there. And then I'd go on the bike for an hour and then shower and go to school. teach school all day, do the after school program, go to AMPM and get a barrilitos drink. Oh, I know it's bad for you, but it tasted really good. And then I drove like hour 45 home, and then watch some TV, Bob's Burger, and then go to sleep and do the same thing. So discipline. I got on a schedule. So these are the different things that I learned, right? Anyways, going to Phil's question, right? He said, "Why am I changing schools?" Well, I'm not changing districts. I'm not changing districts. So what happens with the pandemic? During these 1,000 days, I realized that there's something that's seriously wrong. So when people are talking about, oh, when schools reopen, they're like, oh, oh, yeah, we got to be 6 feet apart, and they have to be partitions and stuff, and whatever. The districts, they're not thinking about any teacher in particular. They're just thinking about how teachers are going to do it in general. So if your lecture class like English, math, science, Spanish, so they have protocol on what they're going to do or some general idea. The thing is, I mean, wait a minute, I'm a singing class. So when they open their mouths and they sing, it's going to take one article in the paper that people are just going to freak out, and they're going to say no more music teachers. It didn't happen, right? Actually, it did. There's choir, like like some they had choir practice, and then a bunch of people got sick and a couple of them died. And then so all of a sudden, California, they shut down choirs and churches, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if they do that, they might shut down, regular. But I knew this from when it first started, before the article came out. So what happened, and I realized that the way of the future, right? It's virtual academies. Now, I'm not talking about like you being my student right now and you see me live and you can interact with me and chat and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, okay, there's a bunch of virtual schools where they do like online curriculum, like they buy the licensing from these companies and then have their students do it. So, there's like English, math, science, history, all that kind of stuff, whatever, right? And then so our district was planning on doing this years ago, like 2 years ago, and they're planning it out and everything. And then they weren't going to do it until later. But with that pandemic happening, it escalated. And then so there's other districts that are doing the same thing. So they go, hey, if people don't want their kids to go to school, like ever, right? They're going to go and do these virtual academies. Because here's the problem. Okay, I told you about the whole thing with the music thing, but also people, they are worried about the technology going like, oh, you know, I can't learn this stuff. I can't learn this stuff. What am I going to do? Technology. It's like, okay, we got to learn to deal with it, right? And then after they learn the technology and they go, all right, you guys, schools are open up. Let's go. All that knowledge, all that learning out the window because you got to go back to school, and then you got to learn to teach these kids 6 feet apart with masks, with shields. And the thing is, if a kid talks, there's no mute on the Zoom, so teachers are going to lose it. It's going to be nuts, right? And then so I realized that administration and the district, they're going to have bigger things to think about than their singing teacher having problems trying to teach the kids how to sing in this type of situation. So I knew my time was near. It's not near, but so I had an opportunity to teach summer school, the online credit recovery, right? And that one, you work 3 hours a day, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., and you help the kids that failed classes pass their classes. Okay. So they do an online school curriculum and everything. And then so the first month I did it, I didn't pass anybody. I was like the worst one. I thought I was going to get fired. And then the second month, I go, you know what? They're not responding to emails. I'm going to call them. So I called all my kids, and then I made sure that they knew. I found out that they just didn't know how to sign on. So I did that. And also some of them, they're not up at like 8 a.m. These kids are ones that failed classes. They're up at video game time. So my office hours were any time of the day. So I worked from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. this whole summer, right? In July, I worked for free for half the month. So my stats were I passed about 100 kids, right? 100 kids recovered their classes, and 20 of them were high school dropouts that I helped pass classes so they could graduate in August. That was the greatest feeling ever. Because what happened is, when I teach kids singing, it's one thing. Like, okay, yeah, I love singing, whatever, but these kids, they only knew my voice. They didn't know what I looked like. I didn't tell them I'm a YouTuber, right? What happens is when they graduated, I mean, like one kid had to pass like 10 classes. And then I was motivating. She's like, "You're not going to push me." I go, "I'm going to push you like crazy." So I pushed from, 6 in the morning to 2 in the morning. And then this person passed 10 classes in 8 days. So she was kind of like our valedictorian, right? And then so when that happened, it was a great feeling during the graduation. It's like I'm taking the film and stuff from it, and then they walk up and they go, "Hey, you don't know who I am, do you? Or do you know who I am?" They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Shin. Hey, what's up? Whatever." Because it's like I was able to teach life. So what happens is my bosses they all saw from the district, okay, and what happens? It turns out that this virtual academy they needed one teacher who could manage the online things, right? And then so they did like the whole scouring the whole internet for like job opportunities and all that kind of stuff. But then I went for it, and then I got it. So if you guys follow my videos, there's this one very very important Zoom meeting that you might have seen a couple weeks ago, right? That's what the interview was, and so now it changes my life. So we're waiting for them to find another music teacher, but then I'm still talking to my new bosses. It's kind of weird. I have five bosses. I have five bosses, and it's kind of weird because my fate, my destiny, is in my hands, right? So I'm learning how to do all this stuff, and then it's like all the presentations. The parents are going to meet me for the first time this Wednesday, right? So it's same district, just different school, and then this one, it looks like the one that I'm going to finish my career with. I mean, unless I mean, they oh, this thing this in this 1,000 days and the graduation. I was talking to like the superintendent and a couple of assistant superintendents and everything, and then they thought I had very good vision, so then they put me in this administrative academy. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. Give up my Friday and Saturday once a month, right? But whatever. When the superintendent asks you to do something, you kind of have to do it, right? So I mean, I'm enjoying life, right? And then it turns out that how fate comes in. So Phil, if you're still paying attention, if I bought that house in last year, I would have been totally screwed because teaching in a virtual academy means that I could teach virtually from wherever. So I could live here still. So thing is, you know how much money I'd save? I was spending like $600 in gas every day, you know? So here it's like my gas is like zero, right? I mean my air conditioned bill is like $100 a month, but you know, so the way that it worked out. Now I know I usually don't get religious on you guys, but this one is when I feel that God is really looking over me on this one. Because going from my journey in these past 1,000 days, I mean, more than the 1,000 days. I mean, if you guys watch my videos from whenever, everyone's when my dad used to watch my stuff, I feel like my dad's watching over me. And then thing is, the way that the opportunities came up is pretty nuts. And so now it's like I feel really blessed. So yeah, Phil, that's true. No commute. I mean, I have to go for meetings every once in a while, but when all your students are online working from home during their own time, and I'm like a teacher advisor. So they could Zoom me anytime they want. They could call me, email me, whatever. I mean, I'm available, right? But thing is, my actual direct instruction, like me teaching a music class, those days are over. It's really strange. And then so here's my office right here. So the kids are doing their thing, and what I'm gonna do right there. And then when I see like the message pop up, oh, right. So I'll probably watch Breaking Bad another like 4 or 5 times and Bob's Burger, whatever. And then so now I could work on like my diet habits, make sure that what I have in the refrigerator is really good. And I could keep a watch out on where I want to live. Another thing too is by not doing that thing, not buying that house, I wanted to buy a place so I could take care of my mom for the rest of her life, right? But what happened is something came up where it looks like I'm going to be partners with my brother's best friend, who was like my big brother, and he looked after me ever since I was probably like 13 or 14, right? But we're going to look to buy a 4 unit property. So I'm like, oh, getting in the game. I mean, yeah, I turned 50 this year. There's a lot of different things. It's so strange on how you get more mature as time goes on. Okay. So I do feel a lot more enlightened than when I was younger. Okay. But it's like, that's why it's weird that even though this whole lifestyle reset was just meant to just change me to exercise at least an hour a day, a lot of things changed in perspective on just how my life is run. So goes back to the whole old question: was it a success? I think it was. I think it was a success. I think it was a success, even though I can't spell success. Anything else? Let me see this thing. Yeah, super spreader choir. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Jeff. I don't think Not Scary Farm is going to be open. I don't think any of those places, even though San Diego SeaWorld, they're open like a zoo. So I don't know. It just comes down to what you really want to do and if it's worth it. So now I'm start. Oh, another thing that was I learned to see like what the true value of what I'm doing. Is it worth this? Is going to SeaWorld Zoo, right? Worth me driving an hour and a half to go there, use my free teacher pass to go and look at, some animals and then drive back an hour and a half, right? I mean, if it's a date, oh, yeah, that'd be amazing, right? But you live in California, half the people are like, wow, I want to see the animals. And the other half are like, oh, cruelty, blackfish. It's like, so that's what you have to deal with when you're in California. And also the ones that want to go do something, SeaWorld usually isn't in the top, you know, upper echelon of what people choose to do, right? People would rather go to the beach or they'd rather go to the mountains. I don't know if people, well, I guess they want to go to the desert so they could go and like, ATV and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. So now that we were shut down, everyone figured out a lot of different stuff that they could do. They figure, wait, we don't need to go to a club. We don't need to do this. We don't need to go to show. We don't need to go to work. Well, okay, you have to go to work, but just we're just constantly adjusting, and we'll see how it goes. Oh my gosh, I was just thinking about this right here. How's this sound right now? Is it sound fine? Yes. You got to tell me. Okay, because what happened is it turned out on day 999 or something, whatever this last Friday was, YouTube forced me to use the new streaming software, right? So what happens is it's horrible because I was so used to the old one, and this one it changed. So then I'm looking to see how it goes. Oh, thanks. No, I mean, okay, look, Phil, any mic would actually really work, but since when we got shut down, I realized it was time for me to up my video quality, right? So that's why Harold the handyman, super genius, he goes, you know what? Let's do this. You could get for this, right? So I upgraded my computer. I upgraded my stuff. I got a mic, knowing that half my things that I do is YouTubing live stream. So I might as well get the sick sound. I might as well get the software where I could go back and forth to, like right now. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at right here. Let me switch the screen right here. So I could. No, that's not the right one. Right here. So I switch here. Okay, so this is a bad one because this is you see the chat on the right side. Now it's because I had to switch this one. That's why it's here. Hold on, let me switch back. Sorry. That's my middle screen right there, right? And then that's when I could do like the whole double like here, this is one screen, that's the other one. Usually when I do like the put the videos up, I could do the double right here. I could use like a whiteboard, all these different things. So what it did was it helped me for when I knew we're going to actually teach from home. Okay. I never want to be one of those people where it's like, oh sorry guys, I'll be back here. Right. So I realized another thing about my lifestyle reset is if I'm going to do something, I got to do it right. Okay. I got to invest money to do it. Now, thing is, we found out that there's a cheap way to do things, a middle of the road way to do things, and a super expensive way to do things. Super expensive wasn't my way to go. There's no way I was going to do it. No way. Right. And then so the cheap way to go, it could happen, like you could do just fine for your own solo stuff like this. I don't need this mixer that looks like this. What screen is it? Top left. Where's my top left monitor? Oh, well, let me show you. Okay, this is what my monitor looks like right here. Okay, so I have it right here, and then I could turn up volume for the sound of like the videos or whatever. My computer right here's the one where I go, hello, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, live from whatever, right? That's what you do from there. Okay, and then I could have up to like I don't know, 16 tracks or whatever it is, and then so that's when I do it. But it's like I want to do that. I wanted to make it fun for my kids, so I have like these sound effects, from my phone, and then I was it able to do drawing on the whiteboard and everything. So I knew that it's for my job. So spending, like I could tell you, all this stuff costs about maybe probably about $2,500. But what I'm doing is I upgraded an old computer to a Pentium 9, an i9. You buy the chip. Yeah, Harold the Handyman is genius, like I told you. And then he put in like a new video card, and then we got the microphone. We have the mixer. I bought two monitors, so I have three monitors going on, and then I got those at Costco. Now, I had this camera from before right here. I bought this light right here. I had the light before, I just never used it, right? And then this monitor down here, the one that I draw on, I had this from a long time ago. So I realized that a lot of stuff that I had was amazing. Oh, and I got pretty sweet earphones too, right? Uh okay, so yes, so this is going to address the whole Marlin thing. So Marlon got the Clifton 7 shoes. Okay. So what happens is another thing I realized during this whole lifestyle reset, right? Was that I needed, if I was going to exercise, I need some legit exercise shoes. Okay. Because I was wearing like older ones and stuff. I mean, my Echoes are great. Don't get me wrong, but they're worn out. They're really worn out. So when I started running, it felt like, King Kong running in the street, just is Jurassic Shin just going, right? And so, yes, everything hurt. Oh my gosh. So then finally I go, you know what? There has to be a way that there's like big people running shoes. So I did the internet search on it. Then I saw like these ones are called Hokas. I go, gosh, these are like big soled shoes. It looks like Skechers, you know. It's like, hey, where's my bell bottom pants and grow me a couple inches, right? So, you could do that with Asics, New Balance. I like New Balance before because I had to get like orthotics one time because I have a high arch, all that kind of stuff, right? But I'm looking at the different places to order. And then so, when you're doing that whole, this is the reason why you need to go to in a store as opposed to like online for Amazon. Because Amazon, you can order for cheap price. Yeah, I get it. But then you call those companies, you're like, hey, what's this? And you get the advice, and then you go do your own research. But what happens is at the Runner's High, Long Beach, you have Priscilla. When I talk to her, she's super cool. So I'm like, okay, might as well go. Let's do it. Let's make the video. So then I went over there, and then she had me do like this whole like stepping thing. There's a whole video about this, but you step on this mat, and then they tell you like what kind of thing you need. Do you have the pressure on the outside, or the inside, all stuff? I'm like, oh my gosh. So the thing is, she said, yeah, you don't get the A6, you get the Hokas because of this, right? Or you could get this other one, whatever, right? I go, you know what? Okay, let's see these Hokas, right? And then they're like these gray colors and stuff. I'm like, I wasn't feeling those things because I'm a basic black and white dude, right? And then so it turns out that after trying a bunch of shoes, they had the perfect Clifton sixes, Clifton six Hokas, and they're yeah, it's way over there. My earphones are gonna come out if I get it. So these ones, when I tried them on, I was like, oh my gosh, these are amazing. Amazing shoe. They're like $120 because they're discounted because the Clifton Sevens came out. So Marlon, he's starring with those Clifton Sevens. So she says, yeah, if you don't like it, you could come back and return them. I go, yeah, but I only can wear them on carpet, right? She's like, no, just wear them as much as you want. Just do whatever. And then in 45 days, if you don't like them, you get 100% refund. I go, you're kidding me. That is one of the most sickest things ever, right? So I go, okay. So honestly, okay, I'm usually not this type of guy, but I was doing my best to work out every day and just trying to think of any type of excuse on why I do not like these shoes. I'm like, oh man, maybe it's just I'm crooked or whatever. It's like whatever. But she did tell me once it molds your feet, it gets pretty insane. So, anyways, it gets down to day 40. I'm not really thinking about it anymore because I'm so comfortable in these shoes. It feels like walking on clouds. Okay. And then I'm trying to think of any excuse. Oh man, maybe I could say it's too big, too small, whatever. No, the way that Priscilla found the shoe perfect for my foot, it was so good that like I'm like thinking, man, I better just buy another pair because sometimes you get a shoe that's so perfect that you just don't understand. So it molded to my foot, and I can't imagine having any other size or any other shoe because Priscilla at Runners High, Long Beach, totally found the perfect shoe for me. Right? So yeah, Marlon, what color are the Clifton Sevens? And yes, Nathan, go Dodgers. I'm kind of upset about the Dodgers though. Perfect, Marlon. Yes. Just wait. Those things are gonna mold onto your feet, and then they're gonna never let go. They're gonna be like Sergio Mendez, never gonna let you go. Right? Ah, okay. Let's go with the whole entertainment thing. What I also learned about this whole 1,000 day thing. Okay. Now I'm a guy totally about happiness, right? It's like, oh yeah, I love being entertained because anybody who works hard to charge a ticket for people to watch, okay, I'll go watch. I don't mind. But what happens is it's like, I bought the season pass for Disneyland or for Six Flags and the Dodger season seats. And it's like, okay, you go, but you realize that like you can't go to everything, right? And so I didn't realize how much money I was spending on all that stuff until we got shut down, right? So when I realized, it's like, oh my gosh, where's all this extra money coming from? Because every Dodger game, okay, even though I had the seats already, I had to spend $17 per game to park, just to park. And then when it goes to playoffs, it doubles. and then even triples when you go to like World Series and stuff, right? And then same thing with the tickets, right? And thing is, like, okay, with the Dodgers, right? I love the Dodgers, don't get me wrong. But it's like I remember from the days of just going to the all you can eat right field pavilion. Thank goodness I stopped there, even though it's one of the greatest experiences ever. I mean, if you just go to one game, go in right field because for $40, you get all you can eat hot dogs, popcorn, soda, nacho chips, everything, right? And then, yeah, but you go to back games, yeah. Okay, I have all these Dodger eating hot dog videos and me speaking Spanish to the workers. Yeah, I mean, it was great. But thing is, it's like you talk about one of the things. Yeah, and I was doing it while I was doing on this reset. So that people give me crap. Hey, you're trying to lose weight and stuff, but you're going to the Dodger games. And okay, I get whatever. Okay. But then when I went to when I did that Boston World Series game, I happened to get one ticket. Um, I had it, and then streaming, and then I had 5,000 people watching. Same thing. I'm like, oh man, and so I blew up that day. A lot of people like my videos because the Dodger ones. I need better seats. I need better seats. So then I upgraded to is reserve section 1, row G, 9 and 10. It's like right in the middle. Seriously. So if you ever seen any of my Dodger videos, I would blow it up, and then literally it's like you see how fast the pitch goes down, and you could see when they hit it out, and it's a great experience. The problem is, I started working in Victorville. You know how far it is from there? Yeah, it's about an hour and a half also, right? So driving to work, hour and a half, then driving to the game, another hour and a half, and then driving home, hour. That day sucks. It was horrible. So if you have back-to-back home games for the playoffs, ah, that's a lot of driving. That's that's almost like going to Vegas and coming back. No, Vegas is okay. I think it's 4 hours. 4 hours. But Vegas from Victorville is only three, I think. So yeah. Hey Pranio. So anyways, what's going on? Let me reset a little. What happens is uh yesterday was my day 1,000 of my Big Daddy Shin lifestyle reset, where I for 1,000 days, I changed one thing about it about me. I decided I'm going to exercise for an hour a day. Do what I can, not something extraordinary unless I could, but just doing something. So I did it for 1,000 days. Today's 1,001. Okay, and then so I'm talking about all the different things that I learned in this process, and yeah, I I I I learned tremendous stuff. Oh yeah, and then also during this time I had Ram seats, the Ram tickets. That one was horrible because thing is the only way you could get seats is like really high up there. And if you ever had a high seat in the LA Coliseum, it's miserable. So not only are the games at 1 p.m. right in the middle of the day, it is hot or it is raining like crazy. And parking's crazy too. So you got to park like, a mile away, right? And then you could actually make it in the stadium in, unless you want to pay like $80 parking, right? To see a game really far away. Yeah, that wasn't fun. So I stopped doing the whole Ram stuff. And then I remember a long time ago we had the Laker tickets. That was fun. That was when Shaq was in town. Oh, I love Shaq. He's amazing. But that's the Shaq Kobe Ori, that time, Horace Grant. So those days were fun. Those days were fun. And then but I realized there comes a time when we heed a certain call, right? We needed to we need to learn to just adjust on what we need and what we want. So the thing is, yeah, I want to go to all these events and stuff, but do I need to go? Not really. Cuz in the end, you're entertained for a certain amount of time, but then you come back home and then basically you're out a couple $100, right? So that's why staying home, watching these virtual shows that people are throwing and stuff, it's pretty fun. So, I'm trying to do my best to entertain people. Like on Friday nights when I do like the whole, karaoke nights. If people want me to sing a song, yeah, sure. What do you want me to sing? I'll do it. No big deal. Just have a good time, right? I was doing the game night thing. That was pretty fun too, right? But it's just strange that like everything we need to do, we could just do it online. You could order from Amazon. You could order your whole dinner and groceries from Amazon. Like, oh wow, right? And then yeah, it's like I found out that I don't need the huge house. All I need is a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and my online streaming room. Okay, Marlon. I'll pretend I didn't even see that comment. But yeah. So yeah, so that's why I know that, I wouldn't mind smaller place. Well, not smaller than this. If I got a place this size but a house, that'd be awesome. Oh, this is horrible. Okay, if I was to take out any of these posters, I would have taken out this one, right? And then put Little Mermaid right over there. But thing is, I have my oh, another thing I learned too, I have a green screen now and the frame. It's still in the box. It's around here somewhere. But thing is, I didn't open it yet. You know why? I found out I don't even need a background. Why? So I could look like I'm at Disneyland. So I don't know. Water break. Anyways, yeah, I think I gotta go. But I just want to go on here. Time to time I have you know, live stream, just regular whatever. But this one's special. It's the one that I learned a lot on this whole 1,000 day thing. And here's a thousand more. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that that I'm going to be able to learn, right? Stuff that I don't know that's coming in the future. Who knows? And hopefully I learn stuff on getting married. That'd be awesome. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. For the time being, nothing's going to change about me trying to be happy, right? So it's like people are asking me these days, "Hey, what's your channel about? What's your channel about?" I always tell them happiness. You know, I don't want to be controversial, do like weird topics. It's like, you know what? People could be my subscriber, but we're really friends. They could call me up for a, you know, hang out. I mean, that's what it feels like, right? Even though, yes, I had my second stalker recently. So one of the things I learned on this whole 1,000 day thing is you just never know what happens. That's why you can't be super, super trusting. But it's like, gosh, I don't know. It's like I talk about the whole stalker, and then Phil says, "Oh, congratulations." No, I'm kidding. You said it for the other thing. So it's one of those just live and learn type things. And but I'm still gonna be me, and I'm still gonna be the same dude. But I'm coming up with new ideas, and then hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they'll be entertaining. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and then that's the most important part because you notice, we don't have like a million people watch. We don't even have 100 people watch. We don't even have 10 people watching this thing, right? But I'm doing it because the people that are on here and the people that are going to watch the whole thing get to this point. You guys are the reasons why I keep making the videos, right? Because if one person watches, great. If I brought joy to one person, that's perfect. Makes me feel good. Because if I didn't do this, right, I'd just be sitting there on the. Well, actually, I'd probably be losing weight right here, right? Or I'd just be watching Cobra Kai. right there, right? Or Breaking Bad reruns right there, right? Or doing my schoolwork right here. Yeah, Phil. So, a couple times it's like, people, there's someone on Instagram trying to pose as me. It's like, and then they're trying to follow my friends, but I'm like, why? Why? That's horrible, I mean, so basically that whole Chinese foot massage video from a long time ago, it was good for me, but bad for me too, right? Turns out that people all over the world, they have a thing for like big, fat Asian bald dudes. Like, so, anyways, that's about it. So, yeah, here's Phil another time. So here is to the next 1,000+ days, and then one day, who knows? We're gonna get up to 306 3,650 days. That's pretty nuts, right? So if that happens, that'd be great. But you know what? I'm not really worried about what the limit that I'm going to be going. I mean, uh, I don't like to think about the ends of streaks and stuff. I'm just going to just keep going and do my stuff. But hopefully, okay. So I'm giving me 1,000 days to do this stuff. But hopefully, before 1,000 days, you'll see my new plan of that. I just want to drop weight. Okay. If I could get to like 250, 240, that'd be nuts. I don't want to look like old, I'm dying and sick, kind of lose weight. I want to just get like a healthy, being like Johnny from Cobra Kai, William Zatka. As he got older, everyone's like, oh, wow, Johnny's so hot. Johnny's so hot. It's like, yeah, thanks. I'm here too. No, but you're no Johnny. You're no Johnny. No sensei. So, anyways, yeah. I figure I'm gonna lose my weight. See what happens. Okay. It's gonna solve a lot of my problems because my body problems, probably like I don't know, just moving around problems. We'll see. Maybe I'll get more active. Maybe I'll start playing sports. Who knows? All right. But I think that's about it. So Big Daddy Shin. If I could exercise 1,000 days, you could exercise 1,000 days. If I could do it, you could do it. And I'm doing it. And I'm learning from it and reflecting from it. Thank you for spending this last hour with me, and I appreciate it. And then I will see you next time. Got to end it right here.